Hi, welcome back. So we're going to discuss now the arbitrary argument lists and the unpacking argument lists. Let me show you an example. First of all, starting with the arbitrary argument list. I would have a function, concat function. It receives one args to a tuple. And then I'm going to introduce you to a new parameter in Python called the SIP parameter. And basically the SIP parameter is just a parameter in Python that primarily formats the printed statements in the output screen. Let's say, for example, I'm just going to return whatever the SIP that I have just mentioned, which is in this case a slash, and join to it whatever args that you have passed to this function. By calling this function concat with them. And if I would have to print this function, you could see that strings that I have indicated while I'm calling the function have all of them packed in one tuple. And then each of these strings were separated. That's the functionality of separated with the default slash that I have defined here. But if I would have, for example, to say, no, I would like to define the SIP by myself, overriding the default one. Next thing we're going to discuss also in this section, something called the unpacking argument list. Remember function called range, right? To 6 to assign it to a variable x, and then just I want to print x. The result would look like the x variable, it contains a range of number from 2 to 6. However, if I would have to use the built-in keyword list, this list, what it's going to do is going to iterate over the x, whatever the value of x, and lay down the values in a tuple format. So if I would have to print this once again, you could see what happened. The list function took whatever has been stored in x, which was just a range from 2 to 6, and unpacked them in the format of 2, 3, 4, and 5, rather than iterating by ourselves and getting the result, as you could say. Instead of writing these 4 different lines of code, just by using the built-in list, could have unpacked all of this for me. So what's the takeaway from this section? That the list built-in function works in handy with the range function as long as I decide on defining a certain variable in a within range from start to end. And then once I do so, I could pass that variable to list, and in indicating that this is something you can unpack for me and put it in that way. Actually, I can extend that not only to 1 asterisk as a form of args, but also to 2 asterisks. Now, this line automatically, what it's going to do basically is going to unpack the argument list and consider every key as a key positional to the function. So the x key value here, it will be assigned to the x, y to assign to the y, and so on and so forth. Now, if I would have to print this one more time, let me eliminate the previous one so we won't run into an issue. So you could see the value of x is 7 as we expected, the value of y is 8, and then underscore as we happen, and the value of z is 6. Exactly, it behaved as we have expected. So you could see the unpacking argument list is a very powerful functionality. It really can make your code shorter and neater and much more readable. Next, we'll be looking at another functionality called the lambda expression. I'll see you then.